I'm not an art guy, so I don't look, it's a painting. You know? Like the Mona Lisa don't do that for me, man. First of all, it's a dude. So it's a dude. I mean, what are we talking about? Am I wrong?
No, you talking about the Mona Lisa?
Is the Mona Lisa and it a dude?
No.
The Mona Lisa is a dude. John, am I tripping? I'm tripping. No. What's going on? Welcome back, and welcome back to a new episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
It's college football, and I'm Ty.
So yes, today we're gonna talk about nothing but college football. Cause like I said on last episode, I wanted to dedicate these, to my dog's favorite, sports or favorite, category of sport, which is football. So last episode we talked all NFL. This episode we're gonna talk all college football.
Cool with that.
So let's start off. Let's get right into it, man. So how was your day, Ty? Let's start there.
Oh, it's been all right.
Been all right.
Yeah,
been good so
chill
far. Okay.
Sunday.
And then also too, for anybody that's a first time watcher, make sure you subscribe and like and share the channel. And then I don't know if you noticed, but check out the new logo. Let us know what y'all think down below. New logo, fire. So just throwing it out there, just plugging that real quick. But let's get right into it, man. So when it comes to college football, the title of today is College Football Landscape. So if you've been under a rock or you haven't, you've probably seen a lot of different teams moving. Now of course it's not this season, but going into 2024 season,
which is the year that the college football expansion happens too.
Exactly. So I think that's what I was going to lead into too. I think that's why you're seeing these teams move, these schools rather move like they're moving, because with the expansion of the college football playoff, I think that's why you're starting to see teams and schools navigate like they are. So let's talk about, so Ty, I sent you the list of, SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, and Pac-12, what it's going to look like for 2024. So talk to me a little bit about movements of schools. Were you surprised by the movements, or?
I was surprised of how the Pac-12 basically just demolished themselves. Just like
they just throwing the towel in.
Everybody just want to get out of the Pac-12. SEC is going to be a gauntlet. Big 12 is going to be a gauntlet. ACC is going to be a basketball gauntlet. Big 12 probably baseball gauntlet. But
because the ACC, they recently was talking to Pac-12 about having Cal and Stanford come over, and the ACC just basically said no, we don't want them. We don't want them. And I'm like you. I'm like, you need them though.
Yeah,
I truly believe the ACC needs Stanford. Like I said, because with the pedigree of who Stanford is as a football program, they, now granted they not running the table and winning championships and all that, but they're in football, they're a good school in football.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and versus anything else. And then Cal, I kind of understand Cal why you wouldn't want them, but I think it was one of those things like, hey man, if you take Stanford, you got to at least take one of our other schools. Yeah. Big 12, I think Big 12 is going to be very competitive now with what they have over there. I think, because, in this list, it says Power 5 football. I think it's only going to be two conferences. At first, it was just one conference, but I think now you're going to have two conferences. I think you're going to have the Big 10 and the SEC. I think those were all, where your best teams are going to come out of there versus, I think your second tier will be ACC. And then, of course, your Big 12 be second-tier teams as well, because you look at who's in those teams.
I think those conferences. What they expanded to 12, I think you can get 4 from the SEC, 4 from the Big 12. That's 8.
Okay.
2 from ACC. That's 10.
And then 2 from Big 10?
Maybe
2 from the Big 10?
Maybe 1 from the Big 10.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Big 12.
Okay, I'm going to say, I'm thinking more.
I'm sorry, 4 from the SEC, 4 from the Big 10.
And then 2
from the ACC.
And then 1 from the Big 12. Yeah.
And then
none from Pac-12.
None from Pac-12. You'll probably throw a team in there like Notre Dame or something like that.
Yeah, because they still independent. And I know Stanford, I had heard before they started talking AC, they was talking about maybe doing the Notre Dame route, going independent too as well. So that way they can kind of move around and play in all the conferences and play against, really kind of pack up their schedule so they can have, like I said, if they can make it through a gauntlet, and now you can really say, okay, this is top 4 team in the country.
And then they can play teams all on the West Coast where they don't have to really travel.
They don't have to travel as much.
Yeah, you know how jet lag is going to be going from USC to Penn State for a Saturday? day or night game.
Night game, exactly.
You have to leave. You got to leave Thursday.
Well, let's say you have a Thursday night game or a Friday night game. You got to turn around and go play on Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
The amount of travel, like I said, I don't know logistically how these schools are going to do it. They're going to spend a lot of money doing it, but I don't know how that's going to affect the players as they go through that. Because like you said, if you're talking about I'm in Alabama and I got to go all the way to Ohio State to play, or I'm in, like I said, in Tallahassee and I got to drive across the country to LA to play. So it just, I don't know how they're gonna do, the travel and everything, and how that's gonna affect the performance of the players.
It's gonna be hard
because at the end of the day, that's what I'm more concerned about. Yeah. How the players now. I think with the movements of these schools to these different conferences, I think it helps the players that are up for NIL deals, that are your top prospects like Cam Williams for USC. Going to the big, well, he'll be gone, but at that time, because he'll come out next year or this season. But a school like that going to the Big Ten, now you get to play against Michigan, you get to play against Michigan State, Ohio State, Oregon. I mean, so you get to play against you're already gonna play against USC, UCLA, and then of course Wisconsin, stuff like that. So I think that helps that resume for USC too as well, because I know in the Pac-12 they wasn't getting a lot of respect, even though last few seasons they've been pretty good the last few seasons. So it was very interesting to see who went where. I'm very shocked the ACC hasn't done nothing. I
was just looking at that. I was like, who did they add?
They didn't add anybody.
Or subtract.
They didn't add anybody. They didn't lose or add anybody. I know Clemson, Florida State have been, talking about possibly leaving the conference. I don't know where they go.
SEC.
So I'm about to say
that's the only way you can get better.
That's the only way you'll get better. Go play against the better comp, which is the SEC. Because I still think SEC is still the best conference.
Yeah.
With the new alignment. Because you add Oklahoma, you add Texas.
Those are two.
I mean,
two multi-million.
Them two right there alone just put them above everybody else.
Even I wasn't even thinking about like football or basketball, like softball for Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Softball for Oklahoma versus Alabama now. That's going to be a game.
That's what I'm saying.
A yearly game.
That's what I'm saying.
That's going to be crazy.
So you add, and then you add baseball with Texas. You got Texas baseball team playing against Oklahoma or playing against Auburn or playing against Florida, because Florida got a great baseball team. So you know what I'm saying. All that, I think it's just going across the board for SEC is just going to make their sports matchups even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very shocked. Like I said, being a Miami Hurricane fan, I was shocked to see that the ACC didn't do nothing. They didn't add, they didn't lose. But I was very, very, surprised by this how much movement and how fast it's happened. With this off season we've seen. Now, all right, so let's talk about, like you said, you just said like Pac-12, they pretty much killing themselves.
Yeah.
So where do they go from here? What do you think? Pac-12 and the ACC, what do you think they go from here to try to either revamp their conference or stay somewhat competitive?
It's no revamping until whatever contracts is over for the Pac-12.
Okay.
I think they're pretty much done. What schools can you grab?
Yeah.
I know at one point they was talking about grabbing SDSU, San Diego State University, but that's no competition to like a TCU or Utah or Houston or something like that. But for them, I think they just wiped the slate clean with the Pac-12.
Think so?
Yeah, just go ahead and shut the doors.
Okay.
Close it out.
Or just get, I mean, when it comes to football, they might just need to get out of the, I don't know if they can just leave football alone, but still do like, other sports.
Yeah, you could do that. But football is a moneymaker.
Yeah, but I was about to say, but that's
how much football brings in over probably other sports.
That's what I'm saying. So when you're talking about how much financial earnings schools receive from football programs, to not have that no more, now you're cutting off a huge chunk of your finances.
Yeah.
When it comes to your ability to do things for the future. So I don't understand. I don't know what they do, but I'm with you. It's ACC. I think they're gonna have to try to pull somebody in that can help the conference, because if not, I think I said they're gonna end up being a Pac-12. Because schools, I think if they, like, especially when contracts run out, a lot of those schools, like I said, like a Clemson, even like a North Carolina, I can see them moving. Florida State, they've already, like I said, they've been very adamant and loud about they're not happy in the ACC, so they might move.
Yeah.
And of course, I think Miami eventually, because I know Miami, I think if they went to the Big 12, I think that wouldn't be a bad fit for them, or the Big 10.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad fit for them to move back over to that.
Like I said off air, I think we should just realign everything and just make it easier for, instead of having, like I said, Penn State travel all the way to Cali to play 2 games and then go back, or however they do it. Like this is, it's gonna be absurd for I'm looking at it as a football standpoint where you only play once a week. So as Penn State now, you know, if you, let's say you have USC and UCLA on your schedule, I would try to schedule them back-to-back weeks so I could just stay out there. Yeah. If I can. Yeah. Or
so like you play one Saturday, you play USC, the next Saturday you play UCLA, and you just stay overnight and stay over a whole week and practice in California and come back.
Or not even USC, you know, Oregon, Washington. You got 4 schools sitting right there on the coast now that you have to travel well over 6-hour flight. To go play. So now you got a 6-hour flight over there. 6-hour flight after the game, just to do it all again the next week, or however, if you do it like that. But just, if I'm these schools, I would make it smarter, not harder for me to play these teams. I don't think it's bad for the SEC because they're all pretty much right there.
By each other,
Especially adding Texas and Oklahoma, because you already had Missouri right there, which is pretty much the farthest.
Texas right next door.
And Texas there.
Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, that's Tennessee, or Ole Miss, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Then you got, of course, Kentucky. So so USC, I feel like they were the smarter conference of the ads that they made, because it made more sense logistically for what already their traveling plans and travel expenses already.
I think these other schools was just off of money wise. I don't know if you heard what Deion said, but like, hey, the players can go out here and transfer. Why can't we go out here and transfer for more money, basically?
Listen,
that's what these schools are doing. Hey,
one thing about Deion, I've enjoyed his comments when it comes to all of this is that, hey man, don't look at us or don't look at the player when they're going out doing the same thing that the schools are doing, or the same thing that these organizations are doing, you know, trying to solidify their future. And so as a conference, like I said, that was a good move for Colorado to move to the Big 12. I think it was good for them. So
I think it was a move too late, but it was a good move.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was like, because it was kind of like the last minute they came out and said they was agreeing to go to the Big 12. So, but like I say, don't get mad because they're trying to get into a more, you know, financially stable situation versus where they're coming out of. You can't blame a school for that. So now with all the movements that we just talked about, and I'm sure everybody, you know, watching us now have seen, do you think that these movements hurt college football overall?
No. Not with what's going to happen with, like I said, the expansion of college football playoffs.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to hurt them. It's going to be more money and everything else for them in their pockets. Now you get Oregon playing Michigan State, Michigan every year or every other year, however they align these conferences. Texas can go into Alabama and play, you know, not just this year. It can be something that's foregoing every year. Or
really turn that into a rivalry game, kind of like how they do Texas and Oklahoma, which is going to be interesting because, you know, you have the Texas and Oklahoma rivalry game, and then you bring that now to the SEC. I think that's just make the SEC even better. When you're talking about that, because just like you got Alabama Auburn game, and then you got Georgia. I mean, it's so much, you know, theater that comes out of the SEC now because you added those two teams. So that's why I just
hope we don't lose the rivalry, like you know, Texas and Kansas basketball. Or Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and stuff like that. Let's keep those intact.
Oregon State.
Let's keep those intact.
Michigan State. So the Ohio States versus Michigan. So
that's one thing the conference has got to think of now. It's like, all right, you know, let's still agree to keep these rivalry games going, even though we're out of conference. But
so that'd be like your you know, out of your non-conference game, but it's a rivalry game, so it's also
kind of like Florida and Florida State. Let's not lose that.
Exactly. Because that's a great game for just college football, nothing to do with the conference. Not, you know, it's a great game for college football because that's what everybody looks forward to. And what we don't want to see is them coming out with schedules that's not on. Because now it's like, okay, so y'all really just caring nothing about the money from the conference side versus the love of the sport that the fans have, which is seeing those rivalries.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I just hope moving forward, 2024 and beyond, the scheduling, you still see those same games. They just gonna be non-conference games now because of it. Or like I say, if the two teams have moved into the same conference, now it just makes it even better because it's a conference game and it's a rivalry game and it's gonna be one of the most televised games for that day. So I think they definitely want to keep that. All right, so what do you think? Let's talk about a little bit about what the recruiting is gonna be like now. You know, what does the recruiting culture turn into now with the movements of the teams?
I don't think it really matters about the. Yeah. I think kids only care about the NIL deals now. Okay. So, I mean, you can go in there and be like, "Yo, we're gonna play the best of the best in the SEC every week, every year." You can give them that pitch, but now you can keep players closer to home and still play these big teams and stuff like that. Go out and Indiana can go out and play Cali and go to Cali and visit and stuff like that. Oh yeah, we playing UCLA. You know, we're gonna give y'all a day in California. Blah blah blah. I don't know how it works, but I don't think these.
Well, the reason why I bring up the recruiting because Jim Harbaugh from Michigan, he's been the NCAA been investigating him for recruiting violations.
I mean, he was coming down here and hosting football camps in Alabama, so it's not a real violation, but it's just like, what are you doing?
Bro, you way too far from home. Yeah. Like, this ain't no random show up that you just popped up in Alabama doing a camp.
Doing a camp in the heart of college football. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I get what you're doing, but I don't know.
That's why I say that's why I'm wondering if that you'll start seeing more of that. You start seeing people kind of trying to go out their way to, like say, recruit people because they know, okay, hey, I'm playing in this conference, and now they've moved to these schools have moved to this conference, and I'm already losing to those schools. I'm probably gonna lose to me more now because now those schools are in my conference, or those schools that are in the opposing conference are adding more attraction from teams. I mean, from schools coming there. Yeah. It's just gonna make players want to go there and play more.
Yep.
So that's why I say I don't know if you're gonna start seeing that, but like I tell people all the time, I truly believe there's recruiting violations going on all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's a year, a season, a moment that in collegiate sports period, whether it's basketball, football, softball, baseball, golf, it doesn't matter, that they're each school is doing everything they can to get to certain kid. Especially like I said now with the NIL deal, because like you said, now I don't have to leave home. I can go to my local university and still get the same amount of interest and same amount of likeness and same amount of money I would if I flew 4,000 miles away from home. So I think you'll start seeing more, kids being incentivized to say, hey, look, I know you're going to get this, but look, we're going to be able to get you that plus give you this. Yeah. Unlike that school's going to be able to.
If I'm a college football player, I'm looking at my academics first, and then everything else is after that. I'm not going to go. If I want to major in piloting or engineering or something like that, I'm not going to go to a school that doesn't offer that. Right? Go to where you want to go, not where the money is. Because if you have your talent and your will and determination and etc., that's going to carry you to the league no matter what.
100%.
But if you just want to go to a school because they finna give me $2 million off of this NIL deal, don't do that.
I mean, a lot of kids are doing that because like you gotta look at their home life.
And the thing is, once all that's over with, what are you gonna do? NFL player, Miles Jack? Linebacker, he played for the Steelers last year. I think this is Miles Jack. He was finna be done with the NFL and go get a trade. A trade, like education. Like you went to college, played collegiate football, but I guess it is what it is. I think he was gonna get a plumbing trade. So
he just fell out. Maybe he fell out of the love for football.
No, I mean he ended up auditioning and trying out for the Eagles right now. But I'm just saying, like, get your education.
Yeah,
that's more important.
Got you. So that way, like I say, if for some reason, football is not something you want to do no more, or for any reason, the football is not available to you because of injury, then you have that to fall back on and say, okay, of course, football was my thing, but I got a degree. So now that I'm not able to play football, I also have this degree that will be able to help me continue on and take care of myself the right way. So I agree with you on that aspect. But like I said, I also understand. I see it from the player side of, hey man, I'm going for this opportunity to solidify, financial stability for my family right now, because that's what they need right now. Mm-hmm. And I can always, because you see a lot of players, in the NFL, in the NBA, you see a lot of players going back now, getting their degrees and saying, okay, I'm not playing no more, but I still, want to be able to accomplish some type of goal, which is, hey, let me go back and get my degree. Yes, my 4-year bachelor's or master's or whatever it is they're going for. So I think that's a big deal. So let's talk about some predictions coming up this season and leading into next year.
Okay.
So give me some predictions you have for this college football season. Who do you think gonna make the Final Four? Who do you think gonna win the whole thing?
I think since that's not happening yet, I think you still gonna have your powerhouses. I think you're gonna have. I can give you 6. Okay. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. It depends on how they do against LSU, honestly.
Yeah.
I think LSU can be in the running.
Okay.
Not really sold on. Like I said, depends on what Florida State do this year. See USC. I think they're going to be in there. Yeah,
because I see you got basically the top prospect right now in Cam Williams. So that's why I think they're going to be definitely good.
You got Lincoln Riley, but
yeah,
that man can't close the door.
Well, he's going to have to this year, because once Williams gone, it's going to be over for him.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I still think your Alabama's going to be good. Oklahoma will be good. Tennessee, Texas, Georgia.
I don't think Tennessee going to be that good. They lost a lot.
Yeah.
But they do have a great quarterback coming in. Yeah. Milton, but
so they'll be good. Texas A&M be good.
Oh, I don't think Texas A&M will be good.
You don't think they'll be good? Nah. Okay. They suck. Ohio State, of course. Oregon, Penn State, Michigan State, UCLA, USC. I think they're going to be still good. I think in the ACC, it's literally going to be just Clemson and Florida State.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say.
No, like I said, I'm a Miami fan, but I'm also a realist. I understand we're not in a good spot. Ever since we joined Adidas, we haven't, man. I don't even want to get into that, how bad that is. And then of course, I think Kansas State, TCU.
I don't think. Are you saying they're gonna be good, or are you? I think
they're gonna be good.
Nah.
You don't think Kansas State gonna be good?
Nah, they lost a lot.
Okay.
They was barely hanging on. I think
even with all the loss that they keep talking about that Deion's having over in Colorado, I think he gonna put up a winning season.
I mean, that's
like I said. I don't think
he had one win last year.
Yeah,
coming into a team, they had one win.
Like he gonna win just 2 games.
He has a terrible, like a hard schedule.
Yeah, I don't think he just wins like 2 games, because 2 games is a successful season for them.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, when they only won 1 game.
Yeah.
But when I mean like I can see them, like I say, maybe winning 5-6 games.
That's not bad. Bowl eligible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's bowl eligible. Mm-hmm. So I can see him doing that and then get him a little, low tier look at a bowl, and then after that, I think then the following year, I think they pick up, because I think once people see, because everybody's seen on social media and heard about all the cultural changes he's done, but I think once people can actually see them on the field playing and see they're playing a different brand of football, like he did at Jackson State, and then you can start seeing, the fans and then the players starting to believe in what they're doing, I can definitely see them winning some games this year. Okay. So, and then but outside that, your Cincinnati's of the world, UCFs, your Texas Techs. Your BYUs, I think they're gonna continue to be what we know to be. The Marylands of the world, Iowas of the world. Iowa's a funny team to me, because they always seem to start good, but then get halfway through the season and they fall off and end up either.
That's Iowa State for me.
Iowa State.
Yeah, I feel like they'll upset some teams, and you just like, where does this come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Like 5-7 and upset like Ohio State or something like that.
BYU had a tendency to do that too for me. Is where it's like, man, you come out of nowhere and beat somebody, and then go back and lose to Washington State.
Yeah.
After you just beat a great team, you'll go lose to a subpar team. So okay. All right, so let's talk about predictions for 2024. Now that we know, we've discussed what the you didn't say who you think will win it all. You think you win it all
as
this
an
year?
Auburn fan, I hate to say this, but I think Georgia.
You see so defeated about
they got the easiest schedule.
They got the easiest schedule.
Easiest schedule.
Oh, I got a buddy of mine I work with. He would tell you different. He's a huge Georgia fan. He would say they ain't got no easy schedule.
Let's pull this up
Let's pull it up. Let's pull up Georgia's schedule. Let's see real quick.
It's easy.
From what he told, what he showed me, he said, man, we ain't got no easy schedule.
They have the easiest schedule coming into college football this year.
Let's go, Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, they got Tennessee Martins, UT Martin.
You're doing just this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
got Ball State. Yep. Then they got South Carolina.
That's in Athens.
Then they got
UAB.
Then they got Auburn.
At Auburn, that's gonna be a win for them.
They got Kentucky.
In Athens.
Then they got Vanderbilt.
Win.
And then they got Florida.
No, you missed one. Missouri.
Yo, they got Missouri. Then they got
in Athens. Ole Miss in Athens. UT in Tennessee.
And then Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Oh, did I miss? I missed Florida. Where is that game at?
Florida is October 28th.
Okay, that's not on here.
Yeah, October 28th. They play at Florida. I mean, well, in Gainesville, they're neutral site.
Yeah, the easiest schedule. That man need to be drug tested. Talking about that easy schedule. All your hard games are in Athens. You only going to Auburn and UT.
Everything else is in
Athens.
Is in Athens, yeah. Because like I say, you got Martin in Athens, Ball State in Athens, South Carolina Athens, UAB Athens, Kentucky Athens, Missouri is Athens. Yeah. They got Tennessee.
They're walking into
Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Florida, and Auburn on their road games.
Yeah, I mean they lost their offensive coordinator, but they get Mike Bobo in, who's known pretty much in Georgia as an offensive coordinator for so many years. Yep. Still got Kirby Smart. Still got Will Muschamp there.
Yeah. Still, they got enough in place,
and 5 stars to replace other 5. They're fine.
Yeah,
they're gonna win it again.
Dude, let me ask you quick. I saw this and I was wondering to see what you think. Is Georgia the new Alabama when it comes to their dominating college football?
He took the blueprint away from Nick Saban.
Okay,
this is the exact same blueprint.
Okay,
Nick Saban
that's what I'm seeing.
Power defense.
Yep.
Maintaining offense.
Yep. Don't lose the game offense. Yep. Yeah. I agree. All right, so you think Georgia win this year? Or I kind of agree with you on that. I think Georgia.
You kind of
agree with you on that. I ain't gonna lie. If it's between Georgia for me, and then I would say if I had to throw another team in there, I ain't gonna lie. I think. I mean, you always gotta say I think USC.
They're gonna.
USC.
They gonna. Yeah, like I said, Lincoln Riley can't close the door. So what are you gonna do? Like
I think they have the team though. I still think they have the team to compete.
They have the teams. They have the great weapons, wide receivers. Yeah. Ohio State has a great team, wide receivers.
No, how I look at Ohio State. I look at how you look at USC.
Yeah,
it's like
I think Michigan can be up there too.
Yeah, I ain't worried. Yeah, they are every year. Mm-hmm. But then, like I say, they just don't get the job done.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Number 1 Georgia, and I think USC is 2 for me.
That's not a bad championship game. I'm going with Georgia.
You're going with Georgia? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about, with what all we discussed today in this episode about the changes. What do you think prediction-wise then? You still thinking the same thing? You still think Georgia's a favorite? Even with all the change, with all the movements?
They already released the schedule. I'm going to go Auburn. I mean, it's a wild pick. I don't.
So you're just gonna go.
I can't see that far ahead. So I'm just go with my team.
You go with your team.
I hope you go Miami.
Okay.
I mean, you already probably know your team might not be that good, but hey, it's 2 years ahead.
It's a long shot.
Yeah, it's a War Eagle, baby. Yeah, we going to the championship 2024.
It don't sound bad.
No, it don't. It's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick at this point. Okay. I'm not gonna pick Miami. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it to myself because I'm like you. I'm just not gonna pick nobody because it's 2 years from now.
Yeah,
we gotta wait and see what happens. See, it's what's coming portal, in. Who transfers, all that stuff. So it's kind of hard to predict 2 years from now. But I'm excited. It's like especially for this year, and then I'm excited for next season, and then college football in general, where it's moving into. I think I think everybody's starting to see that the NIL deals have not been a problem. They haven't really ruined the integrity of the game. Like I think a lot of people was thinking that it was going to mess up the integrity of college football more than anything else could have messed it up. I think it's definitely giving players the ability to now control their faith on where they play, how who they play for, the systems they're playing in, and of course to be able to make the money they need to, the little bit of money they're going to make, because they're not, like I said, not everybody making $5-6 million.
Yeah.
But the ones that are making a couple $100,000 or a couple mil, and be able to, really use their likeness and everything about their name for their own usage, I think it's been big for them. And then of course the expansion coming here next year for the we're going from 4 teams to 8 teams, right? 12.
I think it's 12.
So from 4 to, which is a big jump, from 4 to 12. So which is gonna make football even more exciting, because now now you got 12 teams with the opportunity to play for a championship. So, but I think, man, that's gonna wrap this episode up, Ty. What you think, man? Good. Okay. You got anything? Any closing words before we get out of here?
Auburn 2024.
If you're an Auburn fan watching this episode, please don't do what he just did. Don't put that out there, because we already know. Look, man, y'all time is coming.
When this happened, John, I want you to rewind this video. Listen, let's say the date.
I promise you, if
August 13th, if 2023,
if y'all was to slip up and win a championship, man, listen, I'm telling you, I would jump off a building, off a building, completely off the bench, off the building. Just take the B and turn it into a building. I'm telling you right now, if y'all do that, that's where I'm going, off the building.
Hope you got a parachute.
I'm gonna have a parachute. I ain't gonna kill myself now. I ain't trying to kill myself, but I'm definitely gonna jump off that building. And with the
I wanted to be that one downtown with the sailor picture.
That's the one I'm gonna jump off of for sure. But please comment down below. Let us know what you thought about all the movements this past off season in college football. Let us know if you thought it was good for college football, bad, whatever you think, and also predictions of what you think school wise is going to be, the front runners for championship. Make sure you like, subscribe, share our platform here on YouTube and on Facebook too as well. And then, follow us on our other social medias to actually, stay in touch and in tune with what we're doing. As you can see, new logo. We got new things we're doing on our channel. Also we got our Patreon coming out soon, so stay tuned for that too as well. We're gonna have more exclusive content on there, so you can follow us on there as well. But other than that, man, y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all next episode. Peace.